Warning, this story is for mature audience. If you are not concerned, care to ignore this story as it contains drama, violence and adult topics. Thanks for your comprehension and enjoy the listening.
We take a minute to tell you that the podcast is read by an AI voice. We apologize in advance for the accent without intonation, or the bad pronunciation of some native words in English, including acronyms. If you want a better understanding of the story, you should read the book, The Valhwatch. You will find the link in the description of this video.
From the previous chapter, we met Jano Stein, a German software engineer settled in San Francisco, whose life took an unexpected turn when he receives a cryptic message from an enigmatic system. Initially dismissing the alarming warning, he found himself plunged into a series of misfortunes that disrupt his once ordinary routine. Reluctantly, he decided to engage with the system, leading him to create a virtual AI assistant named Shiva, who became his guide as he embarked on the enigmatic journey of the Valhwatch project. Let's continue with the next chapter.
In the shadows where doubt might creep, we rise up strong, our dreams to keep. Choices abound, but we stand our ground. With hearts ignited, no backing down. Don't give up, fight and remain tall. Through every struggle we'll conquer all. A brighter future just within reach. With every step, life's lessons we teach. In the shadows, where doubt might creep, we rise up strong, our dreams to keep. Choices abound, but we stand our ground. With hearts ignited, no backing down. Don't give up, fight and remain tall. Through every struggle we'll conquer all. A brighter future just within reach. With every step, life's lessons we teach.
Chapter 2, The Hollow. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting elongated shadows across the urban landscape, Jano stepped out of the dimly lit building. The air was thick with humidity, a precursor to the impending evening breeze, and an occasional gust of wind tweaked the edges of his jacket. He adjusted the augmented reality lenses on his eyes, their subtle glow illuminating the intricate digital map floating before him, guiding him toward the location of the serum. Beside him, Shiva flitted around, a shimmering holographic companion, her form flickering softly against the backdrop of the bustling city street. The sounds of chattering citizens and revving engines created a chaotic symphony, amplified by the distant wail of sirens and the sharp honks of impatient cars lining the streets. Suddenly, the ambient noise dimmed under the urgency of a red alert blaring in his ears, its sharp tone piercing through the chaos of the crowded neighborhood. A shiver ran down his spine as he scanned the area, keenly aware of a strange sensation crawling at the back of his mind. He ducked behind a nearby stall, its wooden surface cool against his fingers, feeling the pulse of the city quicken around him. The world swirled in a kaleidoscope of colors and sounds, but his focus narrowed as he glimpsed the creature lurking among the innocent passers-by. It was a beast, grotesquely reminiscent of a werewolf, with fur the color of soot and eyes glinting like shards of glass. The creature paced silently, moving with a predatory grace that went unnoticed by the oblivious citizens bustling about. Shiva interjected. "That's a hollow." Her voice blended awe and caution, and she continued. "Only those equipped with Valhwatch equipment can perceive them. Moreover, hollows can inflict critical damage to your battle suit, just like any other participants." As he involuntarily stepped back, his heart raced. This mythical form was a product of his imagination, a manifestation of his gaming mindset. The thrill of adventure coiled within him, igniting a desire to confront this embodiment of his thoughts. He couldn't help but remember the countless hours spent battling creatures in virtual realms. Shiva noticed his growing interest and said, "Hollows usually aren't hostile unless they sense your suit. Normal humans can't perceive them. But the damage those hollows cause impacts the real world when they are in wary mode. Shiva continued, her tone pragmatic. In fact, hollows are sensitive to the suit that Valhurs wear, as the suit emits special waves. Now, with a sliver of adrenaline coursing through him, he felt fortunate that when he left his apartment, he had chosen not to wear the costume. He kept it in his backpack, recalling how Shiva advised him that he could be detected by other participants. For his safety, he wore only the augmented reality lenses and the Valhwatch. Shiva posed a question, her voice steady and unwavering amidst the rising ambient noise of the crowd. Then, she asks, "Jano? Do you want to fight the hollow or strategically hide your presence?" He remained silent for a moment, watching the hollow from afar, weighed down by her words filled with doubt and intrigue. Seeing his hesitation, Shiva illuminated the potential rewards, experience for combat by saying, "Jano, defeating a hollow could earn you $5,000. Think about your finances." To encourage him further, she added, "Fighting the hollows could help me gather data for combat, since I only have basic self-defense skills." Jano mulled it over, and she proposed another engaging rationale. "Also, the suit, Valhwatch, and lenses are currently level-locked. To upgrade them, you have to purchase enhancements with real money, and the features can be pretty expensive." As a gamer, she explained using familiar statistics. "According to the report from the system, your current level is LV-10B. With an arcane charm woven into her explanation, the rank intrigued Jano, and he asked, "Why not level LV-0? He shot back, a hint of disbelief creeping into his tone, eager to comprehend the mechanics behind this virtual world. Shiva explained, "If you remember, I told you that each participant has their own natural skills, and the equipment is tied to the system's underlying logic. Natural human capacities are assessed at the outset, shaping baseline levels for every participant." He absorbed her words, feeling the weight of his human attributes reflected in this game-like environment. He then asked, "Does that mean the hollows have levels too?" She replied, "Indeed. The hollow before you, dancing between the realms of reality and perception, is assessed at LV-11B. The system has a sub-ranking classification for each level, namely C, B, A, and S, with S being the highest. Actually, the highest level I've noticed in the system is LV-30S. He resonated with her explanation of ranking classifications, intrigued by the sub-ranks. He thought, inhaling deeply as the mundane sidewalk buzzed around him like a hidden hive. A classification. Yet the daunting implications loomed ahead. The knowledge that these projections were facades, reflections drawn from the deepest corners of the psyche, rattled his mind. Shiva added, "Jano, you must note that hollows are dual-edged. They serve as barriers and mirrors to both aspirations and failures that will appear to obstruct your achievements. Whether you choose a good or bad path to change this world, they will confirm your determination or make you give up on your goal. Each participant will see different kinds of hollows with various appearances, such as animals, semi-humans, and mythical beings. Some might be aggressive, while others could be casual or friendly. You might even be able to turn them into allies. Hollows have their own behaviors by nature, similar to humans." Moments of silence fell upon Jano, digesting the new information. Finally, he said, "Oh, I get it now." He headed into a secluded corridor to put on the costume. Opening his backpack, he took the black flat cylinder, akin to bubble gum, and placed it on his chest. Instantly, the bubble gum enveloped his entire body, forming a costume that took on the appearance of his clothes. He was ready to face the hollow. As his mind raced, emerging into battle, curiosity overshadowed instinct. He stepped into the hollow's line of sight, watching as it shifted, its aggressive nature simmering while it prowled around the unsuspecting crowd. Its growl reverberated through the air, a disturbing mixture of primal anger and sorrow, and their momentary exchange of gazes ignited the creature's ire. It roared, not just a sound, but a shockwave filled with dread. Panic rippled through the crowd as they remained oblivious, caught in their routine, unaware of the escalating threat. In a split second, Jano's mind shifted gears. Remembering how Shiva told him that the hollow could have a physical impact on the real world, he wanted to lure the creature away to avoid harming civilians. He dashed down the street, navigating the urban jungle of walls and alleys with keen agility, energizing his body like a coiled spring. He leaped over benches and sidestepped startled pedestrians, his heart pounding like a drum. The hollow pursued him relentlessly, swiping at him with gnashing fangs. Each close encounter stirred the air with tension, much like a cat hunting fiercely for a mouse. Finally, he spotted a secluded corner, an alleyway leading into darkness. A stack of crates beckoned, presenting an opportunity to conceal and plan. He thought, "Damn, that creature has sharp claws. I have to deal with it somehow." As he scanned for a potential weapon, his instincts honed in on a steel rod lying among dusty luggage. The metallic object felt cold against his palm, a stark contrast to the heat of battle igniting within him. Juno whispered, adrenaline mixing with uncertainty. "Shiva, what should I do next?" She replied as the 3D interface unfurled a graph in vivid holograms. "Gauging your combat stats, continue to counterattack naturally. I'm trying to learn its pattern. The costume will operate autonomously from now on." He marveled at the glowing cores indicative of his abilities, but uncertainty gnawed at him as he asked, "What about the hollow?" As soon as he finished his question, the hollow was already in front of him, ready to strike. Their movements collided like seismic waves, and the air crackled as they stood opposed. With his costume moving defensively, Shiva answered, "Here are the stats of the hollow on the virtual window. I'm calculating the probabilities of its next movements in real time." The hollow lunged, and swirling tendrils of fear mixed with the thrill of combat surged through him. Striking with precision acquired through countless gaming sessions, he retaliated with the rod, his muscles responding with the efficiency of countless training sessions, dismantling chaos into rhythm. The clash echoed in the alley, each hit reverberating against the walls, a chaotic ballet played to the symphony of feral sounds. As Juno engaged, Shiva intermittently reminded him of risks, unable to predict all his movements due to the beast's speed. Meanwhile, the costume began to sustain damage that could reduce its lifespan with the automated self-defense, prompting her to ask him, "Dear Juno, do you want to continue or escape?" Juno replied with resolve, "I want to continue." He asserted it, adding, "Shiva, could you set semi-automatic controls? I have something in mind as I monitor the hollow's movements. I want to try something." A gaming instinct guided him, revealing a vulnerability in the hollow's movements. An instinctual strike to its chest laid the creature low, and he exclaims, "It worked! That beast has a certain pattern." As the hollow staggered, Juno gasped, panting heavily, his body demanding rest. But horror gripped him again as he witnessed the creature's wounds begin to mend. Then he is questioning himself, looking at Shiva. "What the heck? It's healing! All my efforts in vain!" The spectral energy emanating from the hollow seemed to warp reality around it. Shiva said, "I am analyzing the hollow's signature." Her voice cut through his thoughts, urgent as she added, "Its neck is emitting a strange wave, called Strick, which is its weak point. If you want to eliminate it for good, destroy the body or remove the Strick from behind its neck." He blinked, a tempest of choices swirling in his mind as he deliberated. He barely had time to assess as the hollow lunged for him once again. It was stronger and fiercer this time, and Juno concluded that reaching the hollow's neck might not be possible since the creature was now on high alert. His heart raced against the chaos around him, and he asked Shiva, "Where can I go? I can't reach its neck, and it's been a while since I last successfully parried its strikes. At this rate, we will be stuck here." She calculated the possibility of attacking the beast explosively, and informed him, "There's an old factory nearby. It's filled with gas bottles." She instructed him, clarity cutting through the fog of battle, and added, "Follow the map on the virtual window." Darting away, he embarked on a perilous dash, narrowly evading the vicious strikes of the hollow. Each step felt like an eternity, as he propelled himself towards salvation, dodging blows like a dancer in tempo. Finally, he burst into the darkened maw of the factory, a haven of lingering secrets and shadows. The air was thick with dust, and the scent of rust hung heavily as he hurriedly searched for cover. His eyes quickly adjusted to the dimness, spotting gas canisters lining the walls. A cunning opportunity presented itself. Silently maneuvering, he opened the valves one by one, saturating the room with toxic potential. Sweat dripped from his brow, pooling at his temples as he kept an ear out for the creature's approach. The sound of its growls echoed ominously against the metal structure. With a final glance behind him, he glimpsed the hollow drawing closer, its narrowed eyes fixed on him with a malevolent gaze. He snatched up a lighter lying haphazardly on a table, heart racing as he turned to face the entrance. In a desperate move, he threw the lighter to the ground just as the beast crashed through the gate. The explosion resonated through the factory, flames erupting in a cacophony of destruction, sending shock waves outward. Citizens outside froze, confusion flooding the streets as they witnessed the chaos unfold. In the frantic aftermath, Janot moved swiftly, navigating through the chaos away from the inferno, muttering, "Damn, people are aware of the explosion. I have to leave this place ASAP. The media and police could arrive any minute. I need to sneak away." And like that, he rushed toward the sanctuary of his apartment. Gasping for breath, he slipped past the shadows like a phantom, unaware of the notification pulsing from his augmented reality lenses, informing him of his success in defeating the Hollow. Shiva told him too. "Janot, a transfer of $5,000 to your account is in process." Floating around him, she added, "Thanks to the fight, I was able to gather 20% of data on the abilities of the Hollow." She displayed the data in 3D across multiple virtual windows and then asked, "Do you want me to process the data to improve the exoskeleton, or would you like to ignore it? In case you don't find it relevant," she continued, "if you accept, we could conduct a 3D simulation against the opponent you fought. I could recreate the virtual environment with the beast, and you could practice in training mode." Heading to his apartment, he said, "Shiva, process the data. It will be fun to fight it in simulation mode later." His level experience improved from LV-10B to LV-10A in the system. As he entered his apartment, the weight of an entire day crashed down around him. He discarded the costume and sank into a bath, exclaiming, "Ah, what a day!" The water enveloped him like a soothing embrace, cleansing away the residue of fear. Once refreshed, he opened the fridge out of habit but found no appetite. Instead, he lay on his bed, manipulating spectral visuals in his virtual windows, replaying the day's events, the combat, the tactical precision, and the exhilaration of it all. With a shiver of remembrance, he realized that he had postponed his quest for the serum once more. Feeling lazy, he whispered softly to himself, trying to shake off the weight of urgency. I'll do it tomorrow. I will search for the serum later. I still have some time left before the deadline, and at least I could pay my rent with the money I got from the system." Days ebbed into oblivion despite Shiva reminding him daily about finding the serum. Each morning blended seamlessly into the next, ensnared in the virtual environment, particularly with video games, until deadlines crept unceremoniously to greet him. He didn't realize the deadline had arrived until the next morning when he was hit by starvation, his stomach groaning. After a breakfast he hadn't eaten in a while due to the serum effects, he suddenly realized the urgency. "Oh, I'm feeling it. My body is reacting weirdly today. That means the serum isn't working anymore. I have to find it for real. I have 2 weeks remaining before I die, right, Shiva?" Shiva answered, "Yes, dear Janot, you have to seriously find it." Again, as sunlight poured through his apartment windows, he leapt off the couch and prepared his equipment. The 3D augmented reality environment filled his view as vibrant pixels burst to life while he donned his suit, further customizing it. He morphed it into casual wear, a simple geek t-shirt that spoke volumes about his identity, paired with jeans and sneakers that anchored him firmly in the rhythm of the city. This time, he wasn't scared to wear his costume, despite the risk of alerting other participants. With renewed determination, he peered at the map floating in a virtual window, with Shiva tagging along. The location flickered enticingly, urging him onward. As he navigated the twists and turns around him, Difficulties melted away into fluency, parkour interwoven with daily life yet remaining undetected. However, when he arrived at the destination, daunting stillness settled over him. He queried, glancing at the deserted area. "Where's the serum?" A scrap of paper on the ground caught his attention, a puzzle hint scrawled cryptically upon it. Rock cubes lay scattered around him. This was the test through which the serum awaited. With Shiva recounting the clues, a sense of purpose ignited within him. She said, "Jano, try to move these rocks to form a star." He bent down, engaging his muscles with the exoskeleton's aid built into his costume to align the cubes according to the hints in his mind, the mechanical rollers whispering secrets of their own. At last, they formed a star, and a gate opened to reveal a tiny cage holding the serum. He approached to shatter the cage's barrier, but it resisted, holding firm against his efforts. Frustration propelled his movements as he envisioned the path ahead. Shiva suggested urgently, guiding him, "You have to place your Valhwatch on the cage to unlock it." With a click and a whir, the cage unlocked, and he clutched the vial of serum. It pulsated within his grasp as he hurried home, injecting it hastily, a surge of warmth spreading through his veins. This time, he didn't faint like the first time. He could clearly see the glowing serum spreading across his body. Now, a new vision consumed him, creating a legitimate company and a foreign offshore account in case the government required the source of his income later, legitimizing the streams of income from quests and battles in this virtual labyrinth. He aspired to mold a new perception of his identity and future within this reality.
We hope that you did enjoy the listening, and let's meet again for the next episode, for another adventure.
In the shadows where doubt might creep, we rise up strong, our dreams to keep. Choices abound, but we stand our ground, with hearts ignited, no backing down. Don't give up, fight and remain tall. Through every struggle we'll conquer all. A brighter future just within reach. With every step, life's lessons we teach. In the shadows where doubt might creep, we rise up strong, our dreams to keep. Choices abound, but we stand our ground, with hearts ignited, no backing down. Don't give up, fight and remain tall. Through every struggle we'll conquer all. A brighter future just within reach. With every step, life's lessons we teach.